Hello children, welcome to NEET WORLD. This is Narayani, I am your foundation faculty. So, in previous class we discussed about the second category of the microorganisms, fungi. Right children? So, let us fastly recap the yesterday's class and go into the today's class. So, before starting the session, I would take a very important news for you children. So, we are conducting the summer camp course from the April 15th onwards. The first batch is already started from the April 15th onwards children, and the next batch is going to start from the April 15th onwards. So children, the main motto of our we are boosting your the courses, mainly the conceptual understanding of the NEET and JEE examinations. The concept should be taught from the basic level to the higher level children. Higher level. So, we are keeping you the quizzes according to the concepts wise for every week, and we are keeping you the cumulative assessments based on the topics we are set to you, and the mode of learning is through the digital panel children. So, a lots of videos, animation should be created for you for your better understanding. So, and children, the main subjects covered by us are physics, biology, chemistry and mathematics children. So, it is very helpful to you, and the first 1 week classes are free children. So, the mode of learning by the online also, offline also. For the offline people can happily come to our institute name called NEET WORLD, present in Hyderabad, Narayani near metro station. Those who want to access through the online courses, down streaming number is there no children. So, contact with that number by us. Right children, this is about the summer camp course we are providing. From the next batch is going to start from the April 15th onwards children. So, don't miss this opportunity. The first 1 week class are free children. I hope you all aware of this, and I am seeing you in the classes. So, this is about our news, and so let's fastly recap the yesterday's session children. So, we discussed about the fungi, right? So, fungi is a unicellular organism and multicellular organism, right children? So, the mostly are multicellular, the few are in unicellular. What is the example of the unicellular organisms? The example is yeast, right? For the multicellular organism, the example is rhizopus, mushrooms. These are all come under the group of multicellular organisms. So, fungi, the mostly organisms we seen in as a multicellular organism. So, they are eukaryotic cells because they are made up of multicellular organisms, right children? So, although there are some unicellular organisms are there, like example is yeast, right children? So, the study of fungi we call it as mycology. Myco means fungi, logy means study. So, the study of fungi we call it as mycology, right children? Some are aerobic and some are anaerobic also. For the multicellular organisms, the examples, another example is mildews, right children? They affect the plants of potato, grapes, right? So, they affect the plants of like potato, grapes and all that. For the multicellular organism, the example is rhizopus and mushroom, right children? So, see here what I said to you, fungi is of both unicellular also and multicellular also, right? See, for the multicellular organisms, if you see here, the example is rhizopus, right? So, the stalk is having the hyphae. The hyphae is tangled, twisted together, right children? So, the collection of hyphae we call it as mycelium. What children? Mycelium. The hyphae is maybe of septate and aseptate. The septate having the partitions, right children? So, I have shown you the diagram. Let us fastly recap children. So, the septate having the partitions, right? So, and aseptate does not having any partitions. Thus, they include the cytoplasm and many nucleus, right children? That is why they call it as multicellular organism, right? So, they have the hyphae having the very important enzymes. They are utilized for the breakdown of the food. See here, the rhizome in the rhizopus, here having the rhizoids, right children? They have the root like structures. So, they release the important enzymes. They break down the food present in the the favorable conditions. What are they grow? That place they release the enzymes. They break down the food substance. They make into simple substance and they will observe, and they the continuity will be happen. This is how this is up to be studied, right children? So, and for the mushroom, for the multicellular organism, it is having the cap like structure. The cap may be the bag or umbrella, right children? So, wait 1 minute. Okay. So, the cap having the bag like structure or umbrella. So, the umbrella like structures having the slit like structures, they are having the pores, right children? When they are dispersed on the favorable conditions, what will happen? They again germinate into the new mushrooms, right children? Their more favorable conditions is what? In the rainy season. They require moist conditions, right children? That is why the mushrooms are morely seen in the shady places and on the season of rainy season, right children? And the eatable mushrooms will be there. The more amount of selenium, vitamin B6, vitamin B12 is are more in content. That is why in the nutrition purpose, the mushrooms are more considered as a to the nourishment of for the nutrient purpose. So, this is up to be studied, right children? This is unicellular, this is multicellular. Although it is multicellular, it is a microscopic. We cannot see with a naked eye. What is the rhizopus, where it is grown? So, when you leave the piece of bread in the whole night, what will happen? The next day you are able to see the cotton like the cloth like cotton will be happen on the bread. That cotton we call it as fungus. The fungi is what it is? Rhizopus. They are also called as bread molds, right children? So, this is up to we studied it. So, let's we ended up to the nutrition, right? The nutrition is of 3 types. One is parasitic. So, they are food robbers and they are pathogenic, right? So they depend on the food and shelter purpose. They are depend on the other organisms. Those organisms we call it as the exhibiting the fungi who is exhibiting that purpose, we call it as parasitic. And what are the saprophytic? They consume energy from the decomposes on a dead organic matter. They break down the dead organic matter and it utilizes it for its nutrition purpose, for the food purpose, right children? So, saprophytes are obtain the nutrition by living on decaying organic matter. Example, bread mold, right? So, the fungi is a parasitic derive their nutrition by living inside on the body of the other organism. Like example is mildew. Mildew is an unicellular fungi, right children? For the multicellular fungi, the examples are mushrooms and also rhizopus. For the unicellular, yeast and mildews. So, coming to the reproduction children. So, this is what up to we discussed. So, coming to the reproduction. So, what is meant by reproduction? Reproduction is nothing but its continuity. The race is continuing. The fungi is continuing, right children? That is why we are going to study till now. So, what is the producing of own kind of species, we call it as reproduction. It is maybe the sexual mode or else by the asexual mode. But the mostly unicellular organisms or multicellular organisms or the first category of microorganisms, they mostly exhibit the asexual type of reproduction. So, here the reproduction in fungi takes place asexually. They are saying asexually. In the asexual reproduction, the the babies, or offsprings. In the terms of biologicals, we use the offsprings. Exact, identical to the parent. Identical means same. They are exact, look like the parent only. In this, there is no, we cannot differentiate the genders. So, in the asexual reproduction, there is no involvement of gametes. So, here the asexual reproduction is of three methods. What they are doing? So, budding is happening, fragmentation is happening, spore formation is happening. What is the budding? First, we have to discuss what is budding. So, see here. So where this budding is seen. So, what is meant by budding? So, see here. 1 minute. It is a budding process. So, here the mostly it is seen in unicellular fungi like yeast. Yeast is a unicellular, right? It having only one cell. That is why uni means single. So, yeast is a unicellular organism right children. So what is meant by budding? So when the favorable conditions, the moist conditions, the fungi will grow more, right children. Under the favorable conditions, under the enough food and temperature, thereby when the bud is matured, it produces an outgrowth children. It produces an outgrowth. So this outgrowth, when the ability can take apart from the parent, so then this daughter again again it favorable, in under favorable conditions, it takes nutritions from the from the other depending sources, and they able to fix in a enough structure, then again it gives rise to again another bud, right children. This may be the chines, they form the chines, or else until they are not enough to able to not reproduce another budding, so they will be attached to the parent only. So when their ability to get new maturation will happen, or the enough food under favorable conditions, the bud is take out from the parent, right children. So this is how the budding process will be done. So budding is then outgrowth is formed from the outside, right. The outgrowth will be again detached from the parent, then it will be under favorable conditions when the food is sufficient, then that time it again what will happen, it again rises to the another bud, right. It again raises to the another bud, then under the again favorable conditions it divides. So this is how the budding will be happen in the fungi. So budding will be happen in unicellular organisms. Example is yeast. Example is yeast. So it is when it rises when the under favorable conditions only, it is detached from the parent. So it is exactly the identical to the parent only, right. There is no, we can it is exactly similar, which you should not find any differences in between them. In this there is no extension of the parent. The parent will not extend, the parent will not vanish, right children. So in bacteria what we studied it children, in fission, in bacteria fission what we studied it. So here if it is the bacteria, it becomes twice in amount under the favorable conditions, then it it makes the copies of the nucleus, and then it divided into two, right, in the binary fission. So here the parent is extending, right. Here in fungi the parent is not extent, right. The parent will be there, the parent will not vanish. In the bacteria, in the fission takes place in bacteria, and the budding process takes place in fungi. In budding process we should not see that parent does not extend, it will be there. The outgrowth will be what, the outgrowth of the particular organism of the fungi, it will shown the until it matures, until it get enough food under favorable conditions, it detached from the parent, again it makes the exact parent copy. This is how the budding process will be. So see for here what they given, budding is usually observed in unicellular fungi like yeast. What they said, the example is yeast, it is a unicellular fungus, right. So it is a unicellular fungus like yeast. In budding the outgrowth is called bud arises. So here it is giving the outgrowth, right, that we call it as bud. Bud arises from the parent, which later detaches from new individual. It later detaches from the new individual. When it detaches, when under favorable conditions, when the food is taken, then that time it detaches from the parent. Sometimes the new individual itself starts budding. Sometimes when the favorable conditions is there, then it is also start budding. So before detachment only the parent had chain is formed. Sometimes what will happen, if it is the bud, it shown the outgrowth. So after, if it is the favorable conditions, these bud also grow another bud. So this forms the chain of buds in some cases, or else it is detached from the parent and it forms a new bud, right children. This is how the exact copies of the parent will be formed in the unicellular yeast fungi. So coming to the next one is fragmentation. What is meant by fragmentation? Children, For the fragmentation, the word itself is saying the fragments, right? See, fragmentation. The word having the fragments. What are the fragments? Fragments are nothing but the small pieces, right? Fragments are nothing but small pieces. So this is how it is derived. So if it is the organism, right children? So if it is fragmented, it means which is in smaller pieces. So the each piece can regenerate the whole organism. Can regenerate the whole organism again. This is how the organism, children. If it is pieces, I make the pieces it. So the each fragment, this is the fragment. So each fragment can able to regenerate the whole organism. So this is what about the fragmentation. So the fragmentation is nothing but under the external environment conditions, or else the if I cutted also, if some people have cutted, example the jellyfish, the jellyfish is also exhibiting the fragmentation only. When the jellyfish, starfish, not jellyfish, in the starfish, when we cutted the one arm of the jellyfish, starfish, then what will happen? Again the fragment itself can regenerate the whole organism, right? So in planaria also, in Spirogyra also, we can see this type of fragmentation. In fungi also, these are not fungi, children. Planaria and Spirogyra, they are not jellyfish, they are not come under the group of fungi. But I am saying, for the example, for the sake of example I said. So the fragmentation is nothing but the organism which make into species, or else by the external environment conditions, or else by the by itself, the each piece can regenerate the whole organism. So that is what meant by fragmentation. So see what they given about the fragmentation. Fragmentation occurs in multicellular fungi where hyphae break down. Here it is happening in the fungi in the multicellular organisms. So in the hyphae is there, no, right children? In the rhizopus, you can easily remember this name of rhizopus as these are the rising parts, right children? That is by rise. It is having the bud like structures, cap like structures, bubble like structures, right? So the pus, just remember like this. So it is at the pus, this having the many amount of seed like structures. There we call it as spores. Those we call it as spores, present in sporangia. What we call, children? Sporangia. So this is the example of multicellular organism. What we call the stack like structures having the slender like filaments, right children? The slender like filaments we call it as hyphae. The hyphae is break down into fragments. That hyphae is there, no children? That break down into fragments. So small fragments. That each fragment forms a new individual, can able to produce a new individual. So this is what about the fragmentation, children. What we studied up to budding and fragmentation. Budding is an outgrowth is formed from the parent, then under favorable conditions it detached from the parent. Exact same copies of the the bud is seen in the budding process. What is meant by fragmentation? Fragmentation is nothing but the so many fragments will be there. For suppose hyphae. The stack having the slender like filaments, we call it as hyphae. The hyphae is break down, right children? The hyphae is break down. When it is break down, then each fragment can give rise to the whole new individual. So this is about the fragmentation. Coming to the spore formation, children. Spore formation is method of reproduction, which means continuity its race. Spores is single cell bodies encased in hard productive covering which produce new individual on germination. Spores are formed in sporangia. It is the best example for the rhizopus, children. For the bread molds, it is the best example. See, it is how the rhizopus will be there. It is formed exactly like this in the breads. That is why we also call it bread molds. So in this is called stalk. So the spores present in the bob-like structures, we call it as sporangium. What we call, children? Sporangium. The sporangium having the plenty of spores will be there. When they are dispersed, when they are matured, the bud will be ruptured and when the bud will be blast and they disperse seeds. They grow on the favorable conditions. The each spore gives rise to the another new individual. This is about the spore formation, children. So spore formation is another method of reproduction. So the spores are single celled bodies encased in hard protective covering layer, which produce, and the hard protective layer is nothing but the the sporangium. The spores will be present when the favorable conditions or when the bob like structure, the sporangium will be blast. Then the under favorable conditions, when they dispersed into the moist areas, or else the under favorable conditions, what is the favorable conditions of the fungi? It is nothing but that they require moist amount more, right children? So when the moist amount is there, then they disperse and gives rise to the whole new individuals. So this is about the spore formation, children. So we discussed about the budding and fragmentation and spore formation. So budding is the outgrowth is formed from the parent. Then the outgrowth, when the favorable conditions or when they have the enough nutrition, they detach from the parent. Again the offspring, the individual, again the daughter bird, the daughter bird again gives rise to the new individual. The best example for the for the budding is yeast, for the unicellular yeast. Unicellular, why we call unicellular? Because yeast having only one cell, right children? That is why we call it as budding process happening in the unicellular organism, unicellular fungi like yeast. For the fragmentation is occurs in multicellular fungi, because when the hyphae is breakdowns, that again gives to again regenerate the whole new individual of the fungi. So coming to the spore formation is another method of reproduction. Spores are present in the bob like structures of the fungi. The bob like structures of the spores is present in it, and when they are under the favorable conditions, what will happen, children? So the spores dispersed into the in the place of their, so if it having the moist conditions, it will gives rise to the another fungi, right children? This is what up to. Okay, so coming to the, so these are the examples. This is the rhizopus, right children? The hyphae is having here, these we call rhizoids. See here the dispersion is showing. The dispersion of spores will be seen here. When the favorable conditions, they lay down in the place where the conditions is alright. Then when the conditions are good to again raise to the new rhizopus. So example is, best example we seen in the bread, children. So this is what about the fragmentation, budding and spore formation in the fungi. So another most important topic, what is the third category of the microorganism, children? So we discussed the bacteria and fungi up till here. So we discussed about their what is bacteria and what is fungi and their habitats, right children? So we discussed about their habitats and also what the shapes, right, and also their reproduction, their reproduction and nutrition also. Coming to here, children, protozoa. What is meant by protozoa? The word protozoa itself is the first animals. Why are calling the first animals? Because their relation with the animals is more, because they don't have cell wall. So plants also don't have cell wall. So this is how they are related to the category of the animals. The word protozoa means first animals. The word protozoa is first animals as their earliest and earliest animal like organisms to evolve. On the evolution, on the gradual increasing of evolution, the protozoa is only the ancestor for the animal cell they are recognized, right? So protozoa are microscopic, we can't see the naked eye. They are maybe the single cell organisms that belong to the kingdom of Protista. They include the kingdom of Protista. So they are among simplest, oldest forms of life on earth. They are the simplest and more oldest life of earth. Even they are tiny also. Protozoa show many processes like movement and their feeding, digestion, reproduction, just like larger animals. Just like larger animals, they are showing all these life process, movement, feeding, digestion and reproduction. They are mostly found in water, moist soil and also inside the bodies of plants and animals. So, some may be the for the food and shelter, for the food robbers, they will be present inside our body. Some are very pathogenic, they harm the host only, right. So, while other parasites and cause disease in humans and animals also. This is about the protozoa, children. The word protozoa means nothing but the first animals, right. So, the earliest animal like organisms, they are microscopic unicellular organisms or single cell organisms that belong to the kingdom of Protista. They are simplest and oldest forms of life. Even though they are tiny, they are showing the life process like digestion, feeding and also reproduction. They are exactly like the larger animals. The examples of the protozoa is Euglena, amoeba and paramecium. So, let us study these, children. So, coming to their habitat. In what habitats? Habitat means where the suitable environment conditions there the protozoa can grow. So, protozoa mostly live in moist or aquatic environments, because when it is also most grown in the moist, wetty places or aquatic environments found in ponds, lakes, rivers, fresh water and sea water. In marine water also, in the more content of salinity also are used to grow more, and wet soil inside the bodies of animals and humans as parasites. Some protozoa can able to cause diseases in humans also, right children. Example is Plasmodium. So, Plasmodium lives in human body and causes malaria. The main cause of malaria is the Plasmodium, is a protozoa. So, we will think that the mosquito will bite and then we cause the malaria. No, the mosquitoes acts as a transporter, as a vehicle. It acts as a vehicle. It acts as a carrier. Like see, if I am riding a bike here, I want to drop you children. So, I want to drop you one of the student here. So, what I will do? So, I am dropping her on the at some point of destination, right. So, here I am not going there. That is not my purpose. So, this is how the mosquito carrying the protozoa named Plasmodium. Then when it is bited, it is transferred to us. This is how the malaria causes children. So, that mosquito acts as a carrier, transporter, not as the malaria itself, the mosquito having the malaria content, Plasmodium content, no, it acts as a carrier, right. So, this is about the habitat children. They grown in the ponds, lakes, rivers, sea water, wet soil. The moist conditions are most preferable. So, coming to its shape, protozoa are in different shapes. They are irregular shapes, fixed shape, and they may be oval, round, elongated depending upon the species. So, coming to the irregular shape, what is the irregular shape? The amoeba is a commanded to the irregular shape. They are pleuromorphic. What is meant by pleuromorphic? They can able to change their structure according to the environment conditions. So, that we call it as pleuromorphic. What is meant by pleuromorphic children? Pleuromorphic is nothing but, it is a scientific term. Their ability to change their shape and size according to the environment conditions. So, that amoeba does not have fixed shape, that is why we call it as irregular shape, and does not have to have fixed shape, which constantly pleuromorphic organism, because based on the ability of the environment condition change their shape and size. So, next coming to the fixed shape. What is a fixed shape? Like paramecium, which has a slipper like shape. See here, paramecium, this is what the paramecium is. It is exactly like slipper. So, it is like exactly look like a slipper shape. So, it has the fixed shape, and coming to the oval, round, elongate depending upon the species. So, these are commanded the Plasmodium. The example for this Plasmodium, right children, which causes the disease of malaria in human beings. So, who is the carrier for the Plasmodium? It's a mosquito. Mosquito is the carrier of the Plasmodium, right children. Plasmodium is a protozoa. So they are having the three shapes: irregular, fixed and oval, or round or elongated depending upon the species. Then the another example is Euglena. Euglena having the, see, this is elongated structure. This is what about the shape of the protozoa. Coming to its nutrition, children. See, nutrition in protozoa. What is meant by nutrition, children? So the taking of food. Thereby we get the energy. By we using for the utilization purposes. Right, children? This is how this is what meant by nutrition. So what is nutrition protozoa? How they are surviving, right? So protozoa can be survived through heterotrophic. So what is meant by heterotrophic? Heterotrophic means dependent. Heterotrophic means, children, dependent. So what is meant by autotrophic? Autotrophic means, auto means self. Auto means self. They can prepare their own food. So all plants come under the group of autotrophic nutrition, right, children? So coming to the heterotrophic nutrition, so mostly they are protozoa. Protozoa is mostly of heterotrophic. They depend on the food for the other organisms. So they cannot make their own food. Of course, they are depending on the other organisms, right? Eat other small organisms like bacteria. They will eat than that smaller organisms like bacteria, organic matter, like that. Amoeba swallows food by using pseudopodia. See, here the very most interesting topic of the food intake of the amoeba, children. See here, they is showing these 5 steps, children. They are showing this 5 steps. See here the first step is ingestion. The first step is ingestion. So next step is digestion. Next is absorption. Next is assimilation. Last step is digestion. What is meant by digestion? Digestion is nothing but taking of food. Digestion is nothing but taking of food. So digestion, the intake of food, it is digested through the enzymes. It breaks down the food into simpler substance. By the utilized form, it will, it breaks down. Then it becomes absorption. What is the material? It will absorb. Then assimilation. It converts into utilizable form and acts as what the requirement of its actions. And coming to the digestion, the particles it does not require, the waste material will be transported out of its body. These are the 5 steps which are involved in the amoeba. So how the food takes? See here, if it is having the food, so it doesn't having any cilia. Cilia means these small hair-like structures, we call it as cilia. So it does not having a cilia also. Then how they are taking of food intake will be, how it will happen? So see what will happen if it having the food here. What will happen? It will make false feet, pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means nothing but false feet. It doesn't having the feet. So it makes the feet. It turns the, if it is a food here, it turns the two, like feet to absorb, to take the food inside of it. So here the vacuole will be there. So in that vacuole the food is present inside of the amoeba. So then it will make the useful form. How it is you make it useful? By the enzymes it makes to break down that food particles. So then it makes a simple substance. Right? Then it makes a simple substance. After simple substance, after breaking down the simple substance, the food what is intaken by the amoeba, that will be absorbed by the amoeba, right? Then it is assimilated, it is incorporated into the body parts and transformed to all its body, right? After that, the unwanted material of the food, that all will be not digested, no, the unwanted material also will be there, no. So that will be taken out from the that will be taken by the vacuole, and that will be, it came into the near the cell, near the wall of the amoeba, then it ejected out, thrown out. That process we call it as ejection, children. So this is what up to the nutrition of the we are discussing today. So another more is there, children, another more nutrition is there. So about it is exhibiting the parasitic also, autotrophic also. Let's discuss in another class, children. I hope you all clear about this video. If any more doubts, just comment in the comment section. So before winding up the class, children, I would like to tell very important news, children. We have started the summer camp course from the April 15th onwards, children. So the first batch from the April 1st is already started. The next batch is going to start from the April 15th onwards. Our main motto is to conceptual learning, children, based on the exams of both NEET and JEE, children. So the mode of education, the mode of learning is through digital panel. We are creating the very wonderful animations and videos to understand the concepts very clearly, and we are keeping, you know, the quizzes also for every 1 week, and we are keeping cumulative assessments based on the concepts we teach it together, and we are also creating, you know, conducting the one-on-one doubt interacting sessions. Thereby you can clear it all of your doubt sessions. This is what up to today's session, children. I hope you all clear about it, and it is both available both online also and offline also. Who want to join through offline can happily come to our institute name called NEET WORLD, present in Hyderabad, Narayani G near metro station. Coming to the who want to join through online, the down scrolling down number is there, no, children. So contact with that number with us, and then we will give you the access to the all classes we are providing to you. So I hope you all aware of this important news, children. So let's see in the classes. Thank you.